Hello guys, in this tutorial we're gonna learn more about private inheritance and about inheritance in general, because right now we have a lot of usable code here to combine things. Now see this stuff here, like protected. So we are grabbing stuff from a primary class, right? And we can do that because we are reaching to that protected area. And everything what is inside the protected area can be shared between classes. But what if you want to forbid to that class to get into that class? Well, in that case you will put that thing inside a private region, because we can do that if you want to protect things. So the moment when you do that and you try to create like a object based on a secondary class that tries to get into primary class, you will get yourself into errors. See, problem. So actually down there primary name from primary class is a private. Okay, that's the one thing. So general story is, if you want to protect something, then just use private, and if you want to share something just between couple of classes, then use protected. Yeah, I do know that this is game of words, but yeah, that's pretty much it in C++. So let's revert to original, protected, and now this thing will be available through these methods to that secondary class. So let me confirm that, and yeah, that's it. So this is basically code from last tutorial. Anyway, let's create a third class that will try to grab stuff from primary class through secondary class. Yeah, I do know that it's a lot maybe to think about, but still we need to know it because this is C++, and when you grasp C++, all other programming languages will be, as they say, breeze. Anyway, here we are going to delete this object because we will not use it. We will use stuff from third class. So class, let's call it tertiary class or something like that. I think it's correct name in English, tertiary, something like that. I don't know, who cares. So now let's try to get into secondary class. Okay, so we are not reaching directly to primary one. That's the job of secondary one. We're just going one level back, not two levels back, one level back. So this is like when you're working into DOS and you have layers of directories. So you need to go manually from one another, I mean like step by step. Okay, so a tertiary class, and we're trying to grab stuff in public section. So don't worry about this thing right now. This thing is connected to that thing. We're hitting this area right now. So public from secondary class, and let's go to actual development. So we will try to get into this caller in this class so that that caller can pass stuff to that method, which is actually in a primary class. See, weird stuff, but it will work. Anyway, public section here, and let's create a method void, and tertiary method, let's say, will be name, and of course we're gonna pass string because that's data type for a name. So string, let's use epsilon as abstract, like a, is it placeholder or something like that? Maybe it's a better word somewhere, but I don't know it. So now we will grab that stuff and pass it here. So let's do that. Caller, and you don't need type string again here because it's already done here. So just copy paste epsilon down there and finish operation. Right. So now let's create object based on tertiary class. Ter and object, let's call it object T, for example, to differentiate bit in a really I mean, how to say this? Yeah, let's just call it object T, who cares? I don't need to explain my not knowing of English specific words. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about, definitely. Anyway, object T, and when you say dot, then you'll have this thing reachable. Okay, and of course you must pass some kind of perimeter to it, which will be Michael in this case. and let's check will that work. Yeah, it works, but I need to call this method, and it will be reachable because it is in public section, in secondary class. So we are grasping stuff from a public section. Okay, that's cool. It will work. So let's do that. Object t dot print name and no parameters, of course, and now we'll have Michael on screen. See, there you go, it works. Now here's a thing. What's gonna happen if we change this thing right here to private? See, this is secondary class, so we're trying to reach into primary class in a private region, but there is no private region. So the question is, will that thing still work? Well, let's test that. Private, and now the thing will also work. But what if we change this protected into private? And now the thing will not work, which is kind of weird because that destroys all other code we wrote. So yeah, that's the life. Anyway, so let's revert what was it, protected. And here I'm gonna leave private here. So when you say private here, that basically means you're trying to hit something that doesn't exist. So yeah, the rest of the code will work. Go figure. Okay, so now can we create object based on secondary class here in combination with tertiary class? Well, sure. Let's try that. Secondary, like normal object, and object dot, and now we have specific offers only from secondary class. We have a caller, that's fine. We have print name, that's fine, and set name, because through caller we are grabbing that set name. So let's let's use caller here, and let's say Samantha or Annabella. Okay, and now let's print those results. Yeah, I can type it freely. Object, I don't know how to type these days, what's happening? Anyway, print name, and now we will have Annabella on a screen. Okay, there you go. Question, can we use this method directly, and can we print results? Like, we are not working anymore with the secondary and tertiary class, we are working with primary one. So let's do that. Based on primary class, we are creating object. What the hell is happening? Object P, and when I type dot, see, I have only name, which is protected, blue, and I have at my disposal this method directly. And of course, let's say something like I'm so bad with names. John, and now let's call object P, print name. But we cannot have that print name because that thing is inside secondary class. So we don't have anything to work with here. So you will probably say, well, can I just type here like cout and then object P dot name? Will that work? Well, let's see that. End line here, sorry. Let's see what's up. So now we have a problem because primary name is protected. So how to solve that thing? Well, you can switch all this mess to public, and then the result will be accurate, but that's stupid. Then what's the whole purpose of these access levels? So let's go to what was it, protected, and in here we will create dedicated internal method, and job of that method will be to directly print stuff like void direct print, let's call it, and yeah, let's just say cout that name, oops, and line, and now we can use it. Why? Because it is inside a public region. Okay, so we are using it directly, so we can use it. So let's do that. Object P, okay, and now dot, and see, you have direct print option here, and now we will have John on the screen. See, there you go. And this report is kind of ugly, so let's change it a little bit, like direct name printing, of course, from primary class. See, everything works. Now, I do know that this is complicated for beginners, but guys, if you ever need this stuff, then you know that you can go to my channel and find this tutorial on, let's name it, private inheritance, because I need to have some kind of title for this mess. So private inheritance will be name of this tutorial. Yep, so we used 3 different classes to play around with objects. Thank you for watching as always, and see you next one.